Be honest. What do you think of the new look? Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now.
Of course.
Well, don't stand in ceremony. Come here.
The Shadow Curse will soon be forgotten, thanks to us. Looks like an army marched through here.
The curse has been lifted, the land's cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wyrm's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the Prism Bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
I itch to peel you, to split your skin, to see your skull shine in the light. Little tyrant. Lucky for you, I harvested a whole family of living flesh in Rivington at high sun. They will sate my blade thirst tonight. Oh, but tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, my blades will thirst again.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
Shadowheart has found a little bit of herself again. Selûne cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? What need, when it seems so intent on repeating itself? But stay this apocalypse, and I'll let you read my journals. Promise. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Then, greetings, Sir Tadpole. I was wondering where all the questions suddenly sprang from.
Always room for more.
One final night in the open air, and then back to the city. Rest while you can. I fear that quite a bit of work awaits us. Ask it. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in a trap. And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth.
Just what I need.
taken from the light to be raised in darkness. Your truth is finally dawning, Shadowheart. You can follow its light, or you can retreat back into dusk. The truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart can follow its light, or she can retreat back into dusk.
I'm listening.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Of course.
Well, don't stand in ceremony. Come here. Fine. What's on your mind? Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. Do you need something?
Of course.
Copper for your thoughts.
Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be easier with our support. What would you like to know? Anytime. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seems my faith was more than well-founded.
I was supposed to sacrifice myself to stop the Absolute. Yeah, I don't think I could have gone through with it, in truth. And I'm glad that I didn't, given what has come to light. The Elder Brain. But more importantly, the crown that it wore. Even without seeing it for myself, I could sense it. Netherese magic. So pure, so complete. I doubted what I was feeling at first. Most Netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power. The ghost of an echo of a memory. That crown was different. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but no matter. It exists. I must learn more of it. That crown sits on a gargantuan elder brain bent on destroying us and everything we hold dear. Understanding its true nature might unlock the means of our victory. We need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown must have been documented somewhere. As luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep. Sorcerer Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. Sorcerer's Sundries is no mere trading post. It's been serving the arcane community for centuries. Their collection of rare tomes is unparalleled. Netherese texts are hardly commonplace, but I'm certain they'll have one or two stashed away. You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold water, this could be the answer to all our problems. I do enjoy our conversations. What do you need?
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperious soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. Of course I envy him. Why wouldn't I? The problem with what Cazador has done is that he did it to me. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finally positioned for yours truly to ascend. We're going to Baldur's Gate, the city of 1 in a million chances, splendor and squalor. Anything could happen. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador has changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
What's on your mind?
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
Be gone, friend. I have a darling to adore. Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the Chosen of Bane and Bhaal. I will do my part to see them laid low. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. That you must face them. Pray, ask, and I will tell.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Will you liberate them from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
The reckoning is upon us! The city thirsts for domination. March! Join power.
We're under attack! Help me! Whatever that thing is, it's not going to last much longer.
Mind Flayer. What the hell's is happening?
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved a child from a viper, back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackhead's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a Mind Flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me. The God. Destroy the God. They prevent me from subduing their master. Do it now!
Aid an illithid against Githyanki. We cannot. We must not!
Your blind loyalty will be your undoing, Lae'zel. Fight with me for your own survival. Together, we can turn the tide. Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a Mind Flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
It's obscene. To owe my life to a damned geich. No more lies, no more tricks. I will have answers!
You grew attached to a mere disguise, but you judge without even knowing me. It's like I said before, I'm just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate.
No more lies, no more tricks. I will have answers!
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers, on a search for treasure, to a colony of Mind Flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stillmain. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield. The largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence. Though of course, they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered, by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed. His hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you. Rather them than potential future allies, like you. We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself.
Orpheus? Impossible. He was slain by Justil Kithrak himself.
Quite possible, I assure you. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Vlaakith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Vlaakith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Vlaakith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive.
I don't understand. The histories claim the prince was burned to ash in the skies.
Your histories are fabrications. The prince was not killed. As you can very well see, he was imprisoned. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Vlaakith will be finished. No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the Astral Prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other Chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prism was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. There may come a time when that is necessary, but there is no guarantee that his power would survive his passing. The risk is too great. The moment his protection is gone, you would become enthralled to the Elder Brain, just as I would. We may look different, but to the Elder Brain we are already the same. Thralls in its design. I appreciate that, but this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel, but the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic, and that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an Illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not?
Even as you say the words, you feel a lurch of disappointment. Your mind bristles with Illithid potential. How could you be so cruel as to deny yourself what you want most in the world?
I felt that. It's your nature. You cannot fight it. So embrace it. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
A wave of disappointment, stronger than any you've ever felt. And then, stillness. You've resisted your Illithid instincts. For now.
You are not ready yet. Keep hold of it then, until you are. It has enough vitality to further your evolution, and your allies. Perhaps you will be more inclined to try it when you see more of what our enemy can do. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The Brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the Brain, and bring it under our control.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
So your mysterious artifact, Tamer of Parasites. He's only another parasite itself. How do you feel? Knowing the cost of keeping your transformation at bay. Still is, probably. Along with a tadpole that, lest we forget, is just waiting for a chance to split your skull. Illithids are monstrous creatures. But in the end, they are only that. Creatures. And if it can, a parasite will keep its host fat, happy, and safe. Until it is finished feeding, at least. Am I comforting you? I am not comforting myself. Use the Emperor as it would use you. Or discard it. My days of doubting you are done. Ask it. Well, are we ready for the road once more? Ask it.
Have to keep going.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshes teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a gay hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well. It also promises to break us beyond repair. This ossified parasite does not make us more, but less. There will be ice where once there was fire. There will be a void where our souls once resided. I know, and I won't.
I'll take that.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something? Of course. Not sure what to feel. My parents are alive, and I need to save them. I'm lucky to have you by my side. I don't think I could face what's to come otherwise. Be honest. What do you think of the new look? Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe. It suits her.
Something is different about Shadowheart. New facial creases, perhaps. A fresh battle scar I hadn't noticed. Bah, it eludes me. Shadowheart walks a little freer of the shadows. She could shave her skull and paint it purple. It would still suit her.
A mind flayer's been getting their tentacles all over our dreams this whole time. I'm really not sure about putting any trust at all in this thing. It's already shown itself a liar. I've got my eyes on the Emperor, and Karlach doesn't blink. Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
Be gone, friend. I have a darling to...
Fate, dost thou require a new
Something good here, I hope.
Oh, we have a new look for a new Shadowheart. Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her.
I was concerned when I saw Shadowheart creeping about with a blade in the dead of night, but it was just to cut her hair, it seems. It suits her. Oakfather preserve you.
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves, and take their nether stones.
How much further can I go?
The city is close now. My fond courtiers will be watching, no doubt, waiting for my return. We should do what we can to find them. Worm's Crossing. We could be inside the city walls before long. And I could be back where this all started. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Worm's Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. I'd look wherever they're gathering.
Watching gods. But I never thought I would be happy to see this city again. Much less to smell it. The Harper safe house I spoke of is on the bridge at Worm's Crossing. Danthelon's dancing axe. Information. The Chosen have a head start on us. I'd like to know what they've done with it. You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in. Ask it.
Baldur's Gate at last. We should find Sharess's caress. Voss will be waiting.
What's hiding here? Might be useful.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. She was sick. She had spots on her face and hands. She went to go get some herbs, and she was supposed to come back the same day. That was last 10 day, though. Thank you so much. I don't have anything, and you can't do anything without any coin. I'll pay you back when I find my mum.
Anything you want for supper? All the treats your tummy can handle.
I need a quick word.
I'm just a cat. But please, talk to Yenna. Why are you so nosy? Yenna is my best friend. She's kind. Help her, not me. Nothing good, I don't think. She was so very sick. Maybe she made like a cat and went off to spend her last life. But please don't.
What's up for discussion?
My! The fates move in strange and scrumptious ways. I am delighted to see you again. After our little interlude at last light, I was worried you'd gone quite mad. You proved yourself capable of the truth. Now here's another. I want to get into the city, now. But it's hard to shuffle your way to the front of the queue when you're, well, as big as an ox. But what if I was smaller, more discreet? Maybe then a kind soul might bring me through, right in their little pocket. You proved yourself capable of the truth. Now here's another. I want to get into the city, now. But it's hard to shuffle your way to the front of the queue when you're, well, as big as an ox. But what if I was smaller, more discreet? Maybe then a kind soul might bring me through, right in their little pocket. Ooh, this day has ended so much better than it started. Now, you don't worry about me. I'll be a good, quiet little apple you can tuck into the corner of your pack, just until we're inside the city walls. Hail, Cyric! I can't wait to get inside.
You did me a real favor clearing all those ghouls out of Moonrise. That old bonebag Ketheric had some fancy junk stashed behind all the cobwebs and piles of gore. Didn't you? Figured we only got the scraps you didn't have the strength to carry. Wish I could tell you. We're stuck out here, but most of the action is beyond Worm's Crossing. Would I try to fool a sharpie like you? Have a look.
Helps.
Donations? Do you know advice? The refugees. If you don't have anything to donate, you can get going.
Well, if you must, I suppose it saves me the walk. But if you're gonna do it, hurry up.
What in Helm's most holy name are you doing here, citizen? And I just want to see what Manik Nestor has to say to you. Come on, with me.
What was that? Are you all right? What happened here? What? Those are children's toys. Which means if a child had picked one up... I don't want to think about it. How do I know you're not the one who planted those explosives? All right, I guess it can't hurt. I'll check up on the rest of the goods. You try and find whoever is responsible for this.
Is that blood?
Hail, friend. Fine day, isn't it? Forgive me, you're in no mood to talk about the weather. Your journey here was a hard one, no doubt. Is this your first time in Baldur's Gate? It's a fine city, isn't it? No better place to hail from. Used to be you'd arrive knowing you'd a full belly and a warm bed waiting for you. Not anymore. These days, there's barely enough to go around. Add the refugees on top and, well, folk aren't feeling too generous. Tensions. That's putting it mildly. Some well-to-dos in the city donated enough to see the newcomers right for the time being. Only they didn't bother helping everyone else. Locals going without while strangers feast. It stoked the fire, all right. Some Baldurians are kicking up a fuss round the front of the barn as we speak. If I wasn't wearing this uniform, I'd walk round there and teach them a lesson they'd never forget. Too bloody right. But will they share? Not a chance. Those refugees have been leeching on our city for too long. If we don't show them that we mean business, they'll bleed us dry. We need to march round the front and kill every last one of them. Let's see them eat our food with their guts on the floor. What do you say? Why does it matter? Innocence makes the blood run clearer.
So, you're the lick-spittle who crushed the Bone Lord's throne. Have you come begging, sniffing for our stones? Gortash won't like that. A throat his black hand can't choke the spit from. You'll need to bleed and carve this city if you want to turn him to grave meat. He shivers at the thought. When you find the Lordling, tell him Orin is watching.
So Orin is a shapeshifter. How long has she been watching?
What? I'm bushed. I ran for days to get someplace safe, and then found out I'm last in line to get in, because I'm a hobgoblin. As if I could change that.
smelled nice. Yeah, I know.
So, you survived. That's more than many of my kin can say. It's mainly anger that keeps me going. Zevlor was supposed to lead us, but he froze when we needed him most. I haven't seen him since the massacre on the road, which is lucky for him. So many more could have survived if we...
What a sad situation. The once proud tieflings of Elturel, reduced to beggars.
We made it through hell, twice. I know now that as long as Danis and I stick together, we can do anything.
We made it alive to Baldur's Gate. Almost, anyway. But I can't complain. When I look at Bex and realize she's safe, it's hard not to weep from joy.
So many since Elturel.
We should have an exile's feast to commemorate those we lost. Supplies.
I'm really worried about Umi.
Even if we only have...
They got me signed up to learn to make pots, which is dumb. I'd rather learn how to kill cultists. And I bet you'd back me up on that.
I'm not leaving you here.
Ah! Whatever you need. I can't help you. Even talking is painful right now.
After a quick examination, you conclude that your patient is pretending to be wounded. You wonder why.
Really? This isn't necessary. I'm sure there are other people that need your help more urgently. Shh, not so loud. If those lads find out I'm faking, they might go off on their own. They're not ready for that. And frankly, I'd miss them. I don't really have any other friends, and I like those lads. So I think I'll stick around a while more.
Don't know how we're gonna get Grunch into the city, wounded as he is. But we have to.
We've got to get Grunch into the city, but he's in no shape to travel. I wonder, what if we hit him in a big barrel and nailed it shut?
Nah.
Here we are.
Heads will roll for this. This transgression. This injustice. Oh, you poor, naive soul. Let me tell you a story. A perfectly respectable businessman wants to bring his, well, business into this fine city. And what do? They talk some absolute horse bollocks about papers and correct filing procedures and threw me in this slum. I should be loins deep in Sharess's caress by now, not waddling about in filth.
You can't catch me! You can't catch me!
This isn't a glorious post-fist, but it isn't a hard one either. If you can't even guard a blasted shed...
That pot will return to your hands. That's an order.
Oh, God! Are they gonna see it? What happens if they don't see it? Yes!
goodness, yes! I am a good dog. Fantastic stuff! Oh, yes, you're lovely. You can come back.
I apologize for my husband and his obsession with that bloody dog.
What was that, my dear?
Nothing, darling.
Here we are, Griselda. No, I'm afraid I must insist you do not pet the hound.
My love, you can't keep being so rude to strangers. It's just a dog.
All the grabbing and touching startles poor Biscotti. I will not apologise for caring about my boy. Isn't he just? I'm so very glad they let animals in the camp. Means Biscotti can be kept away from that awful war.
Oh, yes. As long as the dog is okay, he's happy. Give me strength.
What will we wear while we're washing him? We only got away with what we have on.
These clothes make me itch. That's a bigger issue than modesty, dear.
Glad to see you. Glad to see anybody, really. It was a lonely road getting here through those abandoned farmlands, and I'm a sociable sort.
Well, to be fair, for a miserable collection of shabby hovels jam-packed with wretched refugees, this place isn't bad at all.
Lord on the rack, give me patience. These protesters keep harassing the refugees. It's horrid. I just hope the Ilmater Temple opens up aid again soon. We need their help here.
Don't pay me any mind now. I'm just trying to make sure everyone gets fed.
Young lady, I just lost a wager, thanks to you.
Who are you?
Someone who bet that you'd never be foolish enough to actually show your face in this city again. But here you are. And the gold in my purse is soon to take flight. There have been whispers about you, sister. About your faith, your loyalty, your company. I can't help but feel the strangest twinge of disgust as I look upon you. Is it true? Has Our Lady forsaken you?
I know the truth. I know my parents still live. Tell me where they are, and I have no quarrel with you.
I'm afraid the quarrel is unavoidable, thanks to you. Now I must report your reappearance. If you are intent on bringing matters to a head, then seek out the House of Grief in the lower city. Though, if I was you, I'd be very tempted to just forget it all and disappear. You have some form at doing so, after all.
It's a bigger issue than modesty, dear.
Oh, gods. Not another protester. Go talk to Nestor if you must. I've got plenty on my plate with these mewling geese.
Do you hear that noise? The flames? I knew these refugees were up to no good. I knew it!
I heard the explosion. This never would have happened if we had some steel watchers here.
The hunter has nothing to say to you. He seems to have other things on his mind.
think you can just walk into our camp, present yourself to Alma, or leave?
Exterminated. Nothing less will
As
do.
long as we stand together, we can never be
You will
truly
stand
both.
between them and the innocent.
Rechtei hathran rust. Frey vald isk durovna. Frey vald isk ablast.
You recognize the funeral rites of the Gur people, famed monster hunters. She's burning the possessions of those who have fallen.
Im orak. Nete. Krasin. Netra.
We would not normally tolerate outsiders at a time like this. My thanks. We grieve those who left us, but celebrate them too. They died well. There is doom in the air these days, but welcome news too. Word has reached me that the undying Ketheric Thorm is destroyed, and if whispered tales can be believed, he was defeated by one looking much like you. A fine trophy. Perhaps you would like to claim another. Baldur's Gate is haunted by many things, but one of its most insidious is the vampire Cazador. For years, his foul spawn have stolen away innocents at night, whisking them back to his palace. Recently, they struck our camp. They took our children, every last one. Our whole future. They tore us to pieces. Vampire spawn and werewolves. I have never seen a vampire's lair so heavily guarded. What's left of my tribe is wounded and broken. We cannot stand against him to save our children. But perhaps the Slayer of Ketheric could. The main entrance is blockaded, but there is another way. Near the park, you will find a broken tower, mid-repair. Climb the scaffolding, and you can enter his palace. It may be watched, but you will not walk into the slaughter that we did. Then we will settle for blood. Cazador must be destroyed. For the safety of the city, and to make sure no one else must feel our pain. If you do this, our entire tribe will be in your debt. On our honor, it will be repaid. May the gods keep you, and damn your enemies.
So Bal's chosen is a doppelganger. I should not be surprised. They have ever been among his favorite servants. Orin is testing you. Either she thinks herself a predator, playing with her food, or she fears what you might do. Good.
Shape-shifting monstrosities of unknown origin. Doppelgangers are unnatural predators. Their latent empathic abilities helping them to know, imitate, and eventually replace their prey.
Ah. This all begins to ring a little too familiar for my liking. The last time I fought doppelgangers, the Balspawn Sarevok was using them to subvert the city government, aid his rise to power. But Orin, he's more predator than politician, I think. She simply wants to make us feel hunted, isolated. Tell the Lordling that Orin is watching. Seems that Gortash and Orin have had a little falling out. We should leverage that.
You're sure?
Oh, back. Speak.
You're sure?
Later, then.
better not be cursed. What's in here? I should speak up.
Before you lies the unconscious body of a mind flayer, glistening and raw.
A newborn. Unattended. How fortunate. Oh, but it is. This one has only just transformed. It is weak, vulnerable. Its potential ripe for harvesting. Go on, kill it. Absorb its power. Just like you did before.
Come no closer, you. You. What are you? What am I sensing? You are like me. Like I was. A vessel yet to transform. Help me. I am so hungry. My vessel. He fought the transformation. He found it excoriating. I can still taste his terror. It is delicious, but will not sustain me. We need to feed. We need a brain fresh and frantic to restore our strength. I sense you are underdeveloped. Bring me a brain and I will help you augment yourself. I shall be here, waiting for your return.
Curtail your sympathy. We wish to destroy the Elder Brain, not nourish its thoughts.
If you don't get out of there,
The place was empty. Keep those thugs away from my family.
Danuvia! Get these squatters out of my house now!
Arthur, sweetheart, you paid me and my boys to be caravan guards, not cattle wranglers. If you want us to get our hands dirty, it'd be our pleasure. But that'll be extra.
This is my home. I may pride myself on my philanthropy, but I draw the line at being a halfway house. Zenobia and I are just navigating a slight contractual disagreement. Not that it's any of your concern. You don't exactly look desperate for gold, but I can't help but admire such solid business acumen. Very well. Get the job done, and you'll be paid and be in my good graces.
Do you think you're clever, coming in and undercutting us, sweetheart? We were about to make a bit of extra cash before you butted in. You owe the guild a cut.
The Guild, a loose coalition unifying every criminal outfit in the city under one collective rule, from cut purses to contract killers.
I think you're overestimating your abilities somewhat. But I haven't got time for this. Come on, boys. We've got places to be.
You see, those animals are out of the picture. Can we stay now? Or are you going to turn us next? Same way lots of us did. Trying to get away from the army of the Absolute. If you had the chance to put a roof over your family's heads after being on the run for Torm knows how long, wouldn't you? Make it quick if you can. I don't like the way he's looking at us.
Heartless scum. I'm a reasonable woman. We could easily work something out in a house this big.
I bet I could hit that fancy one right on the nose. Pow!
What's the word? Can we stay? I don't want to take charity from some stranger. But I will. For the sake of my daughter, thank you. We'll get going as soon as we've got our things together.
All's well that ends well, eh? I'm sure the guild will be in touch with any concerns. At long last! Here's your payment, as we agreed. I've got so much to do now, I'd really better get on with it. Excuse me, would you? All's well that ends well, eh? I'm sure the guild will be in touch with any concerns. At long last! Here's your payment, as we agreed. I've got so much to do now, I'd really better get on with it. Excuse me, would you?
Do try the grass, should it take your fancy. Such sweetness should be shared.
Anything you want for supper.
Cheap and cheerful. Refugees for hire. Catchy, right?
Curse to put my hands on everything. Welcome to Rivington. South, Coast Way. North, Worms Crossing.
all the treats your tummy can handle.
Queen Vlaakith. Skra!
You are a Charlotte, and still you speak my name.
I've seen the captive Orpheus with my own eyes. Spoken to Gestil Kithrak Voss. You lied to us. Enslaved us.
The betrayer Voss lies! I have only a moment, and you, Hasharlak, will listen. We are Githyanki. We move mountains. We snuff out stars. We shake the plains. The traitor Voss has lied to you. The heretic prince would shatter us in an instant. The great dominion shrunk to the head of a pin.
Can this be true? Is the Githyanki prince really a threat to his own people? Or simply a challenge to Vlaakith's rule?
Return to the astral prism. Slay Orpheus the Pretender. Serve me, and I will ascend you. You will be no mere warrior, nor Kithrak. You will be Barta Vlaakith, commander of dragons. My only, my chosen. A final chance. Kneel before me. Make your promise.
Lae'zel's thoughts become yours. The sight of Orpheus looms over her mind. Voss's words echo within it. She means to forever turn her back on Vlaakith.
I gave you my faith, and you called me traitor. I gave you my life, and you ordered your knights to hunt me. I have witnessed too much, and you have given me too little. Finally, I can see. Orpheus will live, and I will hear his creed. This is my word.
Your word is nothing! You are nothing! The Kithraki will bring you. I will tear your flesh from your bones and devour your skull's marrow while you beg for death. I will consume you. I will unmake you.
Don't mind if I do.
We just played host to an undying queen. Oh, and that's without our fine silverware. Lae'zel has courage turning her back on a lifetime's belief. As for us, best we stay out of interplanar politics, I think. Orpheus is on his own. But should Great Vlaakith come to settle a score with Lae'zel, well, I might be convinced to kill her. Undying or not, she was very loud. Ask it.
First in my heart.
Damn! It
can't have been easy for Lae'zel to stand up to Vlaakith like that. There's nothing that woman can't do.
So, Lae'zel's finally seen the light and turned on her mistress. It took a little time, but she got there. Though it's not over yet. Masters rarely let their slaves go without a fight.
But please, don't look at me.
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
Of course, girl. You can help me determine who it is doing all this snoring.
But I won't make it that long on my own. But all right, I'll go. But you'll see. You should have said yes. You'll wish you said yes.
Of course, girl. You can help me determine who it is doing all this snoring.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
Time to press ahead. Maybe it'll bring us closer.
It is done. There is no going back. As long as the Undying Queen reigns, I am never to soar unbound over the astral sea, never to cross the one in the void. As it should be. Better a short life built on truth than immortality woven of lies. Better to unite the Githyanki under a prince who would free their minds and honor their bodies. So why do I feel so bitter?
Loss. It permeates every corner of Lae'zel's mind. Everything she knew to be true, every plan and aspiration she ever held has been painfully ripped away. Lae'zel's bitterness is born of sadness. She's mourning the loss of the person she once was, and can never be again.
How well you've come to know me. But in truth, she didn't take everything. I have what I have gathered for myself. I'm moored to a new regent, a new land, and new allies. Vlaakith cannot unmake she who no longer exists. And so, from the old battle cries is birthed another. Shma Salar Orpheus, Ma Stilna Forgin in Yeri. Orpheus's will above all. May the comet blaze my path forward. Orpheus's freedom is my want and my need. To deny his freedom would be to deny my own. There will come a time when I can think about myself beyond the Lich Queen who enslaves the Githyanki
and the prince who would liberate them. But that time won't come until the Prince of the Comet flies again. We find Voss at Sharess's caress and retrieve the key to releasing the prince. Orpheus Tough Ki Narsin.
Vlaakith's a fearsome one. The sort it's hard to say no to. But Lae'zel said it anyway, to her immense credit. She's choosing truth. She's choosing freedom. For her, for Orpheus, for the Githyanki people. I wish I knew a good Githyanki cheer to celebrate the occasion, but the only gift phrases I've picked up are the sweary sort. Baldur's Gate is where I first raised a glass in toast at the tender age of 14, and got so tipsy from wine, I puked in Dillard Portier's bushes. It's where the flaming fist chased me after I'd stolen a peach from a cart in the Wide. I got a good chewing out over it too. It's where my father taught me to hold a rapier, to read books of law, to know right from wrong. It's been 7 years since I left. It's no paradise, but it's home. And it's worth saving. And you? The city's yours too, after all. How's it feel to be back? Wonderful, isn't it? Torril's history is written within our city's walls. Expeditions to the continent of Mastika gather in the harbor. The Church of Gon displays its most priceless treasures in the High House of Wonders. Voices raised in song on Returning Day. The heady whines at the Elf Song. There's truly no place like Baldur's Gate.
I didn't think I'd live to see the day when Lae'zel turned her back on Vlaakith. But all things considered, good for her. Then that's where we need to go. My parents are in there somewhere. Did you want something? If not, I'm perfectly happy to just gaze upon you a while.
Of course.
I thought you... Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Of course.
Even if I could remember, I'm not sure I'd tell you. I don't want your ego to...
Always room for more.
Glad to see I'm not the only one on the wrong side of an omnipotent authority figure. Lae'zel did well to break free of Vlaakith's manipulations, though I doubt Vlaakith will let such insubordination go unpunished.
So, it seems that Vlaakith is Lae'zel's queen no longer. That took no small amount of backbone. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well. And Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
keeping very well, I hope? I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne, this lucky, I understand, then he's gone now. But I suppose the man I knew died when I died. Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies for life.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome.
But please, don't.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
Here goes nothing.